Hi guys, I'm Alex Henry. You are joining me on a sit-down chat as part of my 24 days of YouTube Advent. Thank you for clicking on to my video. Let me just warn you that this is not clickbait. This is in fact a tell-all from what you've just read in the description. This is a story talking about cosmetic procedures. For those of you that are not into anything to do with injectables, cosmetic procedures or anything like that, then this is probably not the video for you. But the reason why I am doing this is because these kind of conversations are so taboo. I have been having cosmetic work done and some injectables for the past, I'd say 10 years. And even from then to now, friends of mine that I know have had work done, still keep this very quiet and don't like to talk about it. And also, if you stick around to the end of this video, I'm actually going to show you a photo of myself before I had any work done, so you can actually see the difference between now and then. This is a photo that I don't really share with anybody, but I think in this video it is important for you to see that the difference from then to now. I am going to delve right into this, so stick around. But before I do so, I would love it if you would subscribe, like this video and hit that notifications bell so you don't miss out on any of these videos that I'm going to be posting on this 24 day of YouTube Advent. Yes, this challenge is going to involve some great fun things like making garlands and decorating trees and doing haircuts and makeup tutorials, but I also wanted to get down to some nitty-gritty subjects. And today's subject, and as you just read from the video title, I spent up to the region of £40,000 on cosmetic procedures, and I am going to tell you about all of them in this video. So I want to talk a bit about my history and growing up. This is going to be a real quick little insight. None of this stems from my childhood. I want to clear that up now. I was a very happy child. I had a great family. My mum and dad did everything they could for us. We went on fantastic holidays. They told us that we were beautiful. They loved us. They told us all the time. We actually did everything that we wanted to do. We did all the sports. My brother did motocross and football. My sister went to ballet school. And I opted to go down the line of dancing and performing. I would say this was my first insight to noticing or being told I wasn't in fact the same or had the same look or ability as other people, and my experience with being compared to someone. And at that age of 8 back in the 90s, being told that you didn't look a certain way or look like the other boys that were your age in your dance school, or you were always put in the back line because you didn't feel like you had the same face or the same ability as the boys in the front line, was probably the first time I started to think, what was wrong with me? Why didn't I have certain opportunities as some of the other children in the dance school? Now, I wouldn't say at a young age I felt like I was ugly or I felt like I was needing to go and have my facelift at 8 years old, but I did notice from 7 years old that I did have sticking out ears. I actually at 8 years old did have my first cosmetic procedure and I had my ears pinned back. So that was the first time, which was quite young, that I went to my parents and said that I would really, really like to change my ears because they didn't look like the children that I went to dance school with. So at 8 years old, which is pretty brave, I went and had my ears pinned back. Now, I would say for an 8-year-old that was quite a big procedure, and it did drastically change the look of my face. Did I feel like I looked the same? No, because from the day I took off the bandages, I then was left with these kind of really stuck back ears. I had an infection which made the ear actually change shape. I felt like now I was almost looking a bit like an elf. So obviously back then I loved performing and dancing so much that I actually went on to go to a famous London prestigious stage school here in the UK called Italia Conti Academy of Theatre Arts. This was a place that I dreamt to go to my whole life. My older cousin went to this stage school, and again I was put in a class of students and other boys and girls who were in certain classes and in certain routines and in certain numbers in the end of year show because of the way they looked. And again, I felt like for a lot of the time, I was in the back. I didn't have the same opportunities as some of the boys in my year because I didn't look the way, I didn't have the same hair, my nose was different, I was skinny. I was really, really skinny up until I was about 25. I felt like I wasn't body confident. And then being in a stage school where you were put in front of mirrors all day dancing, you then start to say, oh, hold on a minute, I feel like I need to look more like that person. So all this did stem from starting theatre school, stage school. I wouldn't say it had anything specifically to do with the teachers or the faculty. I enjoyed my time at Atelier Conti. I probably wouldn't do it again if I could relive my younger self. I wouldn't waste my time. But I did find that I got really up in my head about certain things and wanting to look like the guys that had the amazing floppy hair and the beautiful white teeth and the gorgeous sort of eyes and flawless skin. I didn't feel like I had that. And this is when it all started, not just spiral out of control, but I did start to notice that I was kind of picking on myself and having that pressure of being at a theatre school, being put in the back row, not being chose to be in certain numbers, and just sort of getting the roles of the kind of weird, not ugly character, but the weird sort of character in the musicals kind of did play a bit heavy on me and did cause me to then start experimenting with, you know, foundation and putting on maybe a bit of mascara and things like that to try and change my appearance a little bit. And obviously having acne growing up, that didn't help with the makeup. Obviously now I'm a makeup artist, I know a lot more about skincare and makeup than I do now, and this all contributes towards the way I feel more confident and the way that I do look now. So with all that aside, stage school was the part of my life that I really did start to look at myself and started to feel like I don't like the way I look and I don't feel confident. I didn't feel confident at auditions. I didn't feel like I'm going to get a job or I'm going to get a gig performing because I looked not like the person that had already got the job or I'd seen had gone through to the next round. Now, moving on to my adult life, I did qualify as a hairdresser. Again, being a hairdresser, I was put in front of a mirror all day. I then started questioning certain things then. And this was back before cosmetic procedures and YouTube and Instagram and Facebook even existed. It was just a battle with myself and the mirror constantly and trying to change certain things about me that I wasn't happy with. And that those times it was hair, it was maybe wearing a bit of concealer, it was kind of changing things up in that way. Thankfully, there was no YouTube. Thankfully, there was no Instagram and Facebook where I got haunted with bloody videos and pictures of this was you 9 years ago and this was you 12 years ago. So then I went on to becoming a makeup artist and again, working at MAC, working at Christian Dior, working at all these other makeup counters, I was stuck in front of more mirrors. And I think this was the point that I then thought, there's got to be ways that I can tweak the way I look to make myself feel more confident. I just want to say right now that these are the kind of things that men do not talk about. Men and mental health in men are told to be quiet, to keep themselves to themselves. So I want to make sure that I am talking about this so that other guys out there that maybe are not confident, maybe lock themselves away because they don't feel that society deems them as good looking or handsome or what the ideal woman would go for, or someone that a woman might laugh at because they might not have any hair, they might be wrinkly, have eye bags, wear glasses, have crooked teeth, that your masculinity is taken away from you because you feel almost a little bit insecure to go out. So I'm talking about this. I know hundreds of women that have their lips done, their Botox, their eye bags lifted, they have their eyebrows microbladed, but they keep it all hush-hush from their husbands. I'm doing it for the guys out there. I am 100% happy with what I've had done. I'm talking to you about it in this video. I'm not holding back on anything. I am going to be so transparent and I'm going to talk about every single penny I spent on the way I look. I started looking up certain things that I can change, and the first thing that used to really bother me more than anything was my nose. I hated my nose. Felt like it was way too big for my face. I would say it's still too big for my face now, but the one thing that bothered me the most is that it was really, really kind of crooked, had a huge bump, and it kind of looked a little bit like a witch nose. So I sort of researched some procedures, some non-surgical procedures that I could do to fix the bump in my nose, and hello and behold, there was a whole Google search on having your nose done with a non-surgical rhinoplasty, where they simply inject filler into the bump and it brings the nose in line with the bump. They also put it in the end just to tip up the end, because obviously when you're putting product in, it could push it down, and just to pull it up. I'm also going to tell you all about the clinics and the doctors and the nurses that I use for my procedures, and I'm going to share all of the places that you can go and the price that I paid for them, and so you can use the same people. Unfortunately, guys, I do a lot of research and I only go to qualified doctors, consultants and nurses to have my procedures done. I'm sorry, I will not go to somebody, as good as you might be, that was a bricklayer yesterday and today they are now doing injectables and they're calling themselves like new face aesthetics. Not for me. I'm sure if you're one of them, good for you, that's great, but I want somebody that has a lot more experience on the anatomy and what's going on in the face, what, you know, blood vessels are where's good to inject, and simply say no when you are going too far with each procedure. It's not something that I take lightly. I will not endorse these other companies that just do a one-day course and you're sticking needles in people's face. I'm sorry about it. I wouldn't go to somebody that did brain surgery course yesterday for 8 hours and then today they're going to cut my head open and then sort out any problems that I've got with my brain. Sorry about it. I'm sure you know some great people, and I also don't endorse going down the route of having it done because you've seen somebody have it done on social media. Everybody is fighting their own battle. You have what you've done that makes you feel confident. Do not do what somebody else has had done because you feel like society is telling you that that's an attractive person. If you want to have your lips done like a duck, then good for you. If it makes you feel happy, that's great. But if you're doing it because X, Y, and Z on Instagram are looking like a duck, then I feel like that maybe is something you need to look at yourself. So I had my nose done. This cost around, I think it was about £850. I've had that done since then about 3 times. It does in fact make your nose bigger, but it does sort of make the shape better. I do enjoy this. However, I think the next thing that I'm going to have done is actually have my nose fixed with an actual rhinoplasty surgery. I will go and have that done. I will probably now on YouTube film it for you. So I'm going to look into having that surgery done. But for now, and for the last 10 years, I've been super happy with having the filler in my nose with the non-surgical rhinoplasty. Other things that I have had done, I'm going to list them all now, and I'm going to then delve into them a little bit more. Don't forget to stick around to the end of this video to see the picture of what I used to look like when I was at stage school. And I had £16,000 worth of fat freezing. I think this might be a whole nother video in itself about fat freezing, but I had £16,000. Basically, they take fat from your body, they freeze it, it becomes like ice. I'm going to insert a video here. It becomes like ice, and it, over the course of 8 weeks, it dissolves the fat particles under your skin and you lose the fat. Yes, it did work. It didn't work as much as I wanted it to work, but I didn't actually change much of my lifestyle, so you could have got a better result from this. This was called Coolsculpting. There are hundreds of copies of this that I've seen out on the market, which I don't think are as good, but I had 16 areas done. Is a doctor, so if any of the procedures go wrong, you're in the safest hands. And I want to tell you, I'm going to show you a picture right now. Here are my lips. They did actually go wrong, and if it wasn't for Dr. Sabika and her skill set and how amazing she was, this could have been a lot worse. If this was done with somebody that did a course yesterday, I could have probably died or had further complications. I've got 17 mils of filler in my face. I had all my jaw reshaped. I've had cheek, nose, lips. I had this done with my most favourite and the only lady that I see for all of my cosmetic procedures, Dr. Sabika Karim. She owns Skin Medical. She is one of the best doctors I've ever used to have any procedure. She's now I'd class as one of my good friends. I don't go anywhere else. She has the ability to tell me, no, you're going too far. And she is a doctor, so if any of the procedures go wrong, you're in the safest hands. Botox I've had done. I had Botox with a nurse I know called Olga, who's been doing Botox for a long time. She's based here in Windsor. She is fantastic. She manages to get my face to still move, but to just move away some of those sort of more in-depth wrinkles and lift my face. She is fantastic. Absolutely love her. And I have also had my teeth completely reshaped and brought forward. I've got veneers and composite veneers, which I had done with another fantastic dentist in North in Aldershot. It was absolutely fantastic. They are probably the best. They do so many of the composite veneers. I'm going to obviously do a complete different video on that. So yes, these procedures do last, but you will need to get them done again, because obviously they are injecting filler, and over the time your body breaks down the filler and it goes. So I like to keep on top of it every sort of maybe 18 months to 2 years. Certain things need doing sooner than others, like your lips. Sometimes my nose will need to be redone before I need to get my jaw and my chin and my cheeks redone. But the procedures itself, I would say, do not hurt, especially when you're having them done with Dr. Sabika, because she uses these needles, which are literally like a hair. They go in, she uses the cannula, she injects them without you feeling a thing. I think actually watching the procedures are a lot more scary than they actually feel. So they look worse than they feel. There is no downtime with these procedures. There is no, I've had no complications other than the time I had my lips done, which again is going to be a whole another video. So I have had all that sort of work done. I also have Hydrafacials, which they put acid on your face to keep your skin rejuvenated and looking great. Obviously I'm a makeup artist and I've done skincare, so I've got a great skincare routine, which is going to be another video on this challenge. But I just wanted to say, you don't have to worry about what people are going to think if you tell them you've had work done. If you don't like your teeth, you're going to go and get your teeth fixed. And then the people are going to say, wow, your smile is amazing. You look so much more confident. Are you happy you had that done? Your eyes are bad. You've got bad eyesight. You get your eyes laser to fix your vision. People say, wow, is it the best thing you've done? Do you feel like you can see more? Oh my God, are you more confident? No questions asked. As soon as you say, I've had a little bit of bag filler, or I've had my lips plumped up, everybody has to throw in there, oh God, like a fish. Like, how come it's so different? Why are we not talking about it? If somebody gets their lips done and it's going to make their lips look more plump and it's going to make them more confident, then I say great. If people have got eye bags, which they absolutely hate, and they wear glasses to cover them, and you can have a little bit of filler in your under eye, it makes you feel confident, you take those glasses off, great. What is this big deal? Why do people have to say, oh God, don't tell my husband, oh shh, don't say anything, I don't want anyone to know. We all know. We all know you've had stuff done. It's not hard. There's no point in hiding it. You look more ridiculous hiding it and acting like you've not had it done. You don't leave the house one day with a mouth that looks like it sucked a lemon and then come home with the most beautiful plump lips. That's not lip gloss. I've worked with makeup for 15 years and there are no plumping lip glosses that do that to your lips. So, like I said, I'm going to show you the picture. I would say I've managed to create my whole jaw. I used to have quite a big underbite from having my teeth. I have an underbite, but since having my teeth pulled forward and these composite veneers and filler into my jaw, filler into my jaw and my lips, I have managed to give my face a more even symmetrical pull forward look. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it seemed like it was a bit much for day 2 on this 24 days of YouTube challenge, but like I said, I am going to be doing quite a few of these sit down chats. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of these videos. Like and subscribe. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I will list all of the prices and the places and the doctors that I go to have my work done on my face. Thank you all so much for watching this. If you have any questions and you want to know any more, you can hit me up below this in the comments box, or you can go over to my Instagram and you can private message me. I will see you tomorrow with day 3 of my 24 days of YouTube Advent Challenge, and have a good day.